Hello, I'm Ollie. This is Criminolly, where I talk about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing. Today, I guess all of that and some other stuff too. I'm going to talk about my 100 book challenge. So anyone who's watched the channel for any length of time will know that I've been doing this 100 book challenge for the past few months, having pledged that I would read 100 books that I already owned before buying the new ones. I have finished that now. So at the weekend I finished Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry, which was book 100. And yeah, I thought it was worth pausing and reflecting back on it, because it's been actually a really enjoyable experience, and I'm very, very glad that I did it. And what was, fantastic about the whole experience for me was that other people took part too. So I didn't expect that. I didn't intend that. It was pure, when I did it selfishly, I did it purely for me and didn't even think about the possibility of other people doing it too. But a load of other people have got involved. So David Wiley and Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads have both finished their challenges as well. Albeit David finished his in an interesting way, shall we say, if you haven't seen his video. Michael K. Vaughan took part, so he has fallen by the wayside, shall we say. One at Plagued by Visions is still taking part, and he's up to book 50, I think. Austin at Monster Blood is taking part as well. I think Jesse from Bartell's Bookshelf, who was taking part and then stopped, I think has just said he's going to start again. So there's I know there's a load of other people taking part as well, so people who are like viewers rather than booktubers. I know, for example, that Catherine Sierra is embarking on her own 100 book challenge, and Trish Bovell, I believe, is doing it too. So yeah, so lots of people doing it, and it's been a fantastic kind of communal experience for me, seeing all these other people getting involved as well. And if you're doing it, I haven't mentioned you, I do apologise. But yeah, as I say, I thought it was worth reflecting back. I'm going to start with some stats. So I started this in the middle of November, 14th of November, and what is it now, 28th of March. So it's taken me, 4.5 months to read that 100 books. I have read a total of, I've figured out how many pages I've read, and it was a total of 25,524 pages across the 100 books. So an average of just over 250 pages a book, which I suspect is below average length for a book, although older books, which is what I often read, do tend to be shorter. I definitely found myself reading less long books towards the end of the challenge, and prioritising shorter books. And as Greg from Another Bibliophile Reads said, that's not cheating, that's strategy. And it certainly paid off. It allowed me to finish a bit quicker than I might have done otherwise. There were some books I read during the challenge which did not count towards the goal of 100 books. So at the start I said that I would allow myself to read books for my book club, which I'm part of, but I would get those out of the library. And I also said that if people gave me books as gifts, I would accept the gift, but I wouldn't count those books towards my 100 book challenge. And I also said I would continue to receive the Abominable Book Club subscription box, but again, if I read those books, they wouldn't count towards the challenge. So there are, I think, 4 books I've read during this 4.5 months that didn't count towards the challenge. So those were Violetta by Isabel Allende, and On Earth We Are Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong, both of which I read for my book club. Bring the Jubilee by Ward Moore, which is a book that my dad lent me. And Below by Laurel Hightower, which was an ARC, which I read last week. And that was another one of my caveats, was I could still receive copies of books from publishers and authors, as long as I didn't count them towards the challenge. So yeah, 4 books I think that didn't count towards the 100 books. And I've also I've ended up receiving, I think, over 20 books during the course of the 100 book challenge, despite not buying any of them. So let me go through what those books are quickly, and explain why I got all of them. So there are a few which were gifted to me by one at Plagued by Visions. I think I've got all of them here. So very kindly, one sent me a package of books fairly near the start of the challenge, I think. Bear with me, I've got loads of books stacked up on the desk here. So those were Red by Jack Ketchum, Off Season by Jack Ketchum, Come Closer by Sarah Gran, Revenge by Yoko Ogawa, and Birdman by Mo Hayder. So all of those I have not read yet. Off Season I'm going to read as part of Horror Mayhem, and Revenge and Come Closer I'm intending to read in April, and the other two I will get to soon as well, because they are all books that I want to read. So there's those ones. In terms of advanced reader copies, so apart from Below, which I've mentioned already, which was a Kindle book, I've received these two from Laszlo Tomasvi. So Dracula's Death, which is a novelisation of a screenplay, and The Vampire, which apparently is one of the first American vampire novels, or indeed the first American vampire novel. So not read either of these two yet, but looking forward to getting to those. And then more recently, I received Death of a Bad Neighbour, which is a crime short story collection, which looks very good. And also, what was the other one? Dark Stars, which is a horror short story collection from Titan Books. And then randomly, the other day, I received this book through the post, which I definitely didn't ask for. It's called Perseus Origins. It's the second book in a series, and I haven't read the first book. I've got no idea why this was sent to me. I mean, thank you very much if you're the person that sent it to me, but given that I haven't got the first book, I probably won't get around to reading it. Yeah, so I'm not sure where that one came from exactly. In terms of gifts, so also received, so I did in December a couple of bookish Secret Santas. So one with my book club, who I do my monthly read with. So for that one, I got A Day Like Today by John Humphreys. So John Humphreys, if you don't know, is a very famous British journalist. This is about his experiences, and particularly his experiences on the Today programme, which is a very popular radio current affairs programme. Books are falling over. I think we're all okay. And then this one, The Lost Ones by Anita Frank, which is a ghost story, which looks really good, which was from another Secret Santa I did. With this, I run like a book group more broadly at work, like an online book group, and received this in the Secret Santa for that. So that looks very good too. And then from the Abominable, oh no, sorry, I've got two more arcs. Actually, three more arcs. So, no, two. So this one, Ghost, 100 Ghost Stories. From Head of Zeus, the publishers, which looks fantastic, and I'll definitely be dipping into this for Horror Mayhem. And then also, I've talked about this book on the channel before, so All the White Spaces by Ali Wilkes. So I received an arc of this from Titan Books, and then it was also in one of the Abominable Book Club boxes that I received this month. So I've actually got two copies of that book. And then what else? So other stuff from Abominable then. So so a couple of hardcovers that were the like the mystery books. So you always get with the Abominable Book Club, you get a mystery second-hand book. So Your Heart Belongs to Me by Dean Koontz, and To Dream of the Dead by Phil Rickman. And then also, I've dropped one somewhere. This was another one of the mystery books. So Scourge, I never know how you pronounce that word, Scourge, by Gary Fry, which is a horror novella that looks good. And then other stuff from Abominable, so I got Nothing by Black and Teeth by Cassandra Core, The Apparition Phase by Will McLean, which looks interesting, a short story collection called Hexperiments, which looks good, so a nice indie short story collection, and then this one, Eat Static, which is a kind of a fanzine type thing, but I think it's kind of horror short stories again, so that looks very good too. And then I think somewhere I dropped a book on the floor. Oh yeah, here we go. So Demon by Matt Wesolowski, which is the 6th of the 6 Stories books. I've read the first 3 of these recently, and I'm really looking forward to those. So yeah, that's what I've received book-wise. So despite not buying any books, I've not done bad. I would say today, this being the first day that I wasn't on the 100 book challenge, I did leap on my bike and nip out and pick up did a quick tour of some local charity shops. Unfortunately, the one I really wanted to go to was closed, which was annoying. But there were another couple. I did pick up a few books, I think 5 or 6 books from there. I've also ordered a few things from eBay. I think 10 books from eBay, so 7 by Derek Raymond and 3 by James M. Cain. And I also bought a Kindle book, which was 99p, the first of the Happen Leonard books by Joel Lansdale. So I've got all of those in the last 24 hours. And I have got some Amazon gift vouchers which are burning a hole in my pocket, so I may go on a bit of a splurge later as well. But I'll do a separate book haul video when the eBay stuff comes in. I'll do a my first book haul since the 100 book challenge video. CSAMIS, who's a regular commenter on the channel, did suggest that I do a top 10 as well. So I've just gone through the list of books I read to construct that. I've cheated a bit in that I've included series as one book. So let me go through the list. So first of all, 3 series. So this is the lot of the 100 books that I read. These are my top 10. So of the series, 6 stories, which I just mentioned. So I've read the first 3 of those now, which were 6 stories, Hydra and Changeling. I'm really enjoying those. So really nice, subtle mix of horror and crime. Really good mysteries. Yeah, thoroughly recommend those. Also the Survivalist series, which obviously I talk about often. Here's book 8 for your viewing pleasure. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the Survivalist series. It's much better than I expected it to be. Just, I mean, pure pulp nonsense, but really entertaining. And also the Blackwater series by Michael McDowell was absolutely fantastic. So it's 6 books. I read it as 6 books because that meant I could tick 6 books off my 100 book challenge. But you can now, if you buy it nowadays, you buy it as a single volume with all 6 books in it. But yeah, fantastic Southern Gothic, really enjoyable. In terms of other things then, so a couple of things that are probably a bit off topic, if you like, for the channel. So Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead, which I read for my book club, which is a fantastic novel about 2 women, one in the past, one in the present day. So the woman in the past is a female aviator who's trying to circumnavigate the globe. And the woman in the present day is an actress who's been hired to play this female pilot who went missing. She's been hired to play her in the movie of her life. Just a fantastic book, really gripping, really readable, thoroughly enjoyed it. And then also Lonesome Dove. So I think westerns are probably kind of in brand for the channel, but yeah, this was just a magnificent western, and I've done a review of it which will be going up soon. Aside from that then, so I think in terms of crime, 4 here actually, so more crime than horror. So really enjoyed The Heretic by Liam McIlvanney, the second of a series of books he's writing about a detective in Glasgow. So that was fantastic. I've done a review of that for the channel. The Talented Mr. Ripley by Patricia Highsmith, which I read for AJ Dunn's Reads and Writes Killer Reads Book Club, which is just a fantastic study of sociopathy. Yeah, thoroughly recommended. A really brilliant book. Dead City by Shane Stevens, which again I've done a review of on the channel, which is an incredibly bleak and dark kind of gangster novel. Get Carter by Ted Lewis, which again I did a review of, which was a brilliant kind of British noir revenge novel. And Mestiza Blood by Lee Castro, which is a really excellent horror short story collection with a really nice mix of different styles of story in there. So yeah, that's my top 10. Really enjoyed all of those. But overall the challenge has been great fun, and I've read a few Duff books in it, as you'd expect, but I've really enjoyed it, and particularly I've enjoyed the experience of digging into my existing library rather than constantly thinking about what to buy next. It's unearthed some books that I probably wouldn't have got around to reading ever otherwise. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it. So I've really enjoyed the reading experience, and as I said, I've really enjoyed the communal experience as well. So yeah, if you are one of the people who's taking part in the challenge as well, thank you so much for getting involved. I do appreciate it. And if you're just someone who's been, watching along, thanks for all the encouragement. I've had loads of encouraging comments on my my shorts videos that I've been putting up when I finish a book. So I really appreciate those. Really appreciate everyone kind of getting involved in whatever way they have with the challenge. And yeah, it's been a real pleasure to do. I hope people have enjoyed watching my progress on it. I hope you've enjoyed this video as well. As always, I hope you're all safe and well. Let me know if you're doing the challenge. Let me know how you're getting on. If I don't know already, let me know if you've read any of the books I mentioned in my top 10. But yeah, hope you're safe and well. Hope you're reading good stuff, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Cheerio.